And a very happy Friday to you at 12:07 in the West. It's the John Phillips Show, broadcasting live from Universal City, and Randy Wang is right beside me.
Johnny, we are at the beautiful Universal Hilton at a cabana by the pool, overlooking people going over the edge to fight homelessness. The Union Rescue Mission does this every year. You can participate. If you want to sign up, they're doing this all day today and tomorrow. Go to urm.org/OTE. Or if you just want to donate and you want to donate to a cause that actually gets people off the street, as the Union Rescue Mission has done for years and years, you can donate. Right now, they're trying to raise $1.8 million, and they're only $75,000 short of that goal. Every dollar matched up to $500,000 is being matched. So donate today. Go to urm.org/OTE. And, Johnny, I've already done my part because I jumped over that thing last year.
That's right, you did.
I don't think I need to do it twice.
Well, I'll tell you, I was thinking about doing it myself. But then I realized our health insurance isn't that good. And I changed my mind. You know, it's not just us who are here today. There's also a dental convention going on.
Yeah, as soon as I parked in the garage and then I hit the lobby, I saw nothing but dental equipment, and I was instantly confused.
Well, you know how I figured it out that they were here?
How's that?
If you go to the lobby of the hotel, it's nothing but magazines from 2015. That's it. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. And Randy, right now it's time to open up the California Crime Blotter.
If the cashier is dummy.
Questions?
And the first edition today takes us to Gardena.
So here's an interesting situation. The homeless that live in Gardena, who were not helped out by the Union Rescue Mission, stole forklifts to steal copper wire.
Forklifts? That's not what you would call discreet.
Once again, yet another example of the lawlessness that goes on in unincorporated parts of Holly Mitchell's Los Angeles County.
For more on this, here is
Fox 11.
Only on Fox 11, a rash of bold burglaries in Gardena.
Bold burglaries. There you go, Christine.
Using forklifts to smash into warehouses. They steal copper, even shut down oil wells. Neighbors say...
What is going on?
Shut down oil wells. They're getting on the wrong side of Judd Clampett.
Say a nearby homeless encampment is to blame. Fox 11's Haley Winslow's live in West Rancho Dominguez with the exclusive story. Haley.
Christine, those forklifts were stolen just a couple nights ago, just down the street from here along that Broadway corridor. The U-Haul right here.
How do you lose a forklift?
And how do you get it from point A to point B? Because unless you steal the trucks, you're going to have to drive them on city streets, aren't you?
And they don't go that fast. You should be able to catch up to them.
No, you could have a high-speed chase and follow them on a horse.
Christine, those forklifts were stolen just a couple nights ago, just down the street from here along that Broadway corridor. The U-Haul right here. But the biggest problem has been those copper thefts, a growing problem over the last several years.
What? I thought that wasn't a problem. I was told by a certain member of the LA City Council that that's not a crime that matters.
You know, let's criminalize catalytic converters. Let's criminalize copper.
Apparently, he likes sitting in the dark.
Kevin King owns LA Press, a commercial printing business in West Rancho Dominguez that prides itself on top quality service. A tall order considering recent setbacks. Thieves took their U-Haul and copper wiring out of their electrical box.
They shut down the printing press. They're going to have to go old school with a Guggenheim press and use a crank.
We had no power for 2 days, and I think cost like a little over $20,000 to repair.
Down the street,
He
these
kind of
oil...
sounds like our donut man from Northern California. Did you notice that?
Let me listen to this guy.
And I think cost like a little over $20,000 to repair.
And then let's see if I have our donut friend loaded up on the board here.
Okay, you got glare on and you still have donut hole.
He's a lot cheerier.
Well, I think he's a brother from another mother.
And I think cost like a little over $20,000 to repair.
Down the street, these oil wells are still shut down after criminals cut through the wrought iron fence and stole copper wiring from the transformers that operate them.
The newest reason to see a spike in gas prices? The homeless shut down the oil wells to steal all the copper.
Because why not?
Entered through there, chained up that electrical box to a vehicle and pulled out, dragging electrical wire and damaging that electrical box. From what we were told from Bridgeland, it was somewhere around $250,000+.
That's how much the damage is. The amount of money that they got for that copper wire may have been in the low hundreds, but it cost $250,000 to repair those oil wells.
And then everyone is without the internet. They're sitting in the dark. Sometimes it leads to flooding. There's a lot of problems.
There was copper wire theft at the DMV in Oakland of an air conditioning unit, and it ended up flooding the building, and as far as I know, it's still closed.
With at least 3 break-ins since Labor Day weekend, it's one of several nearby businesses hit with a few $100,000 in damage. There's still live wires all through these electrical boxes and in this area still exposed, so not even the fear of electrocution stopped these thieves from stealing copper.
Well, of course not. They might get a little buzz off of that.
Yeah, my guess is health choices aren't at the top of their list when they're deciding what they're going to do with their time.
You don't know. They might be crafty. They might be stealing from a Home Depot some rubber gloves before they steal the copper wire. Or maybe they just got lucky.
Wait, you think they're stealing safety materials before they go steal the copper wire?
Witnesses say they spotted the getaway car, this Silverado truck with the wires still hanging out the side that police have impounded, and say the burglars live in the homeless RV encampment along the Broadway corridor and need help.
No, they don't.
It sounds like they thought they needed copper wire.
A lot of the homeless, they're a nuisance. They end up breaking into a lot of the equipment, stealing wire, breaking into...
Is the thought here we should feel sorry for them because they're committing these crimes and causing hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage? Or does it not matter if you're housed or unhoused? If you commit a crime, you should have to be punished for it.
The actual pickup trucks, people's personal vehicles.
Let's find out what you need, and let's make sure that you get the help and that you work towards what you need to better yourself.
I don't think that's what they want.
It's almost on a weekly basis that we're getting warehouses that are completely ransacked and there's nothing left inside. And until we start working as one and we have a task force of some sort, this will just continue to get worse.
I spoke with Supervisor Mitchell's office just a few minutes ago, and they called this behavior absolutely unacceptable.
I don't know. It seems like we're accepting it.
Yeah, because it happens, all the time.
What else have we found out recently about Holly Mitchell's unincorporated district? Oh, you remember the pallets and pallets of rotting pork meat?
Well, if you want some vegetables to go with that, they dump those downtown.
I spoke with Supervisor Mitchell's office just a few minutes ago, and they call this behavior absolutely unacceptable. They say that they're working with law enforcement and with community advocates, David Matthews being one of them, to
How much do you think that guy says, "Don't call me Dave"? I'm not doing the ants marching in. Stop it.
To really try to find solutions to stop this growing problem. They encourage anyone to report it. By the way, David Matthews, I know he won't mind me saying this, but he just recovered from a heart attack that nearly killed him, and he's still out on the streets a month later fighting the good fight, and it's people like that that are making a huge difference in these thefts.
Not Holly Mitchell.
That's commitment.
Reporting live here in West Rancho Dominguez, I'm Haley Winslow, Fox 11 News.
Well, the homelessness issue is such a big issue. Haley, thank you.
So there you go. Forklifts got stolen to smash into warehouses to steal copper wire that got stolen, causing hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage in unincorporated Gardena in Los Angeles County.
That's Leo Terrell's hometown.
Oh, boy.
All right, let's go to Northern California now and reopen the blotter.
If the cashier is dummy,
Questions?
And Randy, this edition takes us to the deli.
A San Jose deli has been burglarized 3 times this year.
Did they leave the pickles?
For more on this, we go to KPIX out in the Bay.
Well, in San Jose, the owners of a community favorite say they feel under attack. Overnight, thieves use a truck to ram their way into Antipasto's deli, and this is not the first time.
This has got to be one of these bells I don't know how you unring. Once the criminals got the idea to use cars as battering rams, it doesn't matter what kind of security you have. What stops a truck?
No, because now the homeless are part of the Michael Bay films.
In fact, this is the 3rd break-in in just the past year at the store on McKee Road and Kirk Avenue in East San Jose. Our Len Ramirez spoke to the owners about their frustrations. And Len, it's already hard enough for a lot of these small businesses to operate, and now they have to deal with this.
Exactly, Ryan. You know, the DeRose family, which is an institution here in the East Foothills community, is heartbroken tonight. They do have great surveillance video, which you're about to see. The police are investigating, and they have a lot of community support. But now, after 3 smash-and-grab break-ins in a row, they're very heartbroken.
If you got time this weekend in San Jose, go buy a sandwich from these guys. They could use the help.
Have you seen the video that went viral on social media of the couple? I believe they were doing a restaurant review, and then a stolen car came driving through the wall right near the booth where they were sitting in.
It was wild.
It was just after 3 a.m.
Do you notice that while every single aspect of technology advances, security cameras still sound like they're from the 1990s?
Oh, the audio sounds like it's from the International Space Station.
It was just after 3 a.m. Monday morning. A surveillance camera captured a pickup truck backing straight through the glass front doors of Antipasto's Italian Deli. Within seconds...
What, are they going to steal some Giardinera?
Maybe a meatball sub.
Within seconds, burglars rushed inside, grabbing expensive bottles of wine and beer before taking off.
Okay, I understand. I don't like what they're doing, but I do understand stealing expensive bottles of wine. Define expensive bottle of beer.
Well, expensive bottle of wine, it's a deli. What do they have in there, Bartles and James?
Grabbing expensive bottles of wine and beer before taking off, leaving behind a trail of broken glass and twisted door frames. It's the 3rd time since 2024 the family-run deli has been hit this way.
2024 wasn't very long ago.
That's not ancient history.
The last time, just this past July, happened in almost the same way. Today, Nick DeRose said the family is considering some sort of barriers to block the entrance, but it's a balancing act because they don't want to make their store into a fortress.
Do we need to start having those, you know, when you go to a parking garage and there's those spikes that you can't back up in or they'll pop your tires? Do we need to have those in front of every small business in the Bay?
Well, maybe that and a moat.
It's frustrating. We come here, we've been doing this for 38 years, and unfortunately, people just disrespect us time after time. And it's getting a little harder and harder as time goes by. After 38 years, we're getting a little fed up with the disrespect.
Antipasto's was opened in 1986 by Nick and Mary DeRose. Nick Sr. has since passed, but Mary still works here daily, keeping her husband's dream alive.
You feel like you're invaded, you know, and it's invasive.
Well, you are invaded if a car comes through the wall.
On your personal life, that someone's targeting you and the family. So we do the best we can and start over again. That's all we can do.
As usual, the business was packed around lunchtime. Among those showing support today, Santa Clara County District Attorney Jeff Rosen and his Chief Assistant DA Jay Boyarsky.
This is something that you don't see from a lot of DAs in California, but I like seeing this. You get victimized, you get burglarized. The DA personally comes out to say, I'm going to do everything I can to stop this.
Well, this new trend of stealing cars and using them as battering rams, it's totally ridiculous. Now, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but if a car comes through the wall of a business, it should be an elderly person mistaking the gas for the brake.
I want businesses like this to thrive in East San Jose and all over our county, and that's why we got to catch the guys who did this and put them away and send a message that if you commit a crime like this, you're going to get caught and you're going to go to jail.
Did you notice that he didn't use the A word?
He didn't. No accountability coming out of his mouth.
He said jail.
Gino, the oldest brother, says the outpouring of community support is what keeps the family going. But he admits each time the thieves strike, it gets harder.
We try to keep a smile on our face and be grateful for the customers that walk through the door and pay their patronage to us and their support for many years. I mean, it's a great community. We enjoy being here, and we look forward to still being here. But nobody can tell what the future is.
The locals got to get more up in arms about this, especially if you've got a sandwich shop that you've been frequenting for decades and it might go away because of crime. You got to stand up and you got to say this is unacceptable.
Well, at this point, how do we even have any Kias left to steal in this state?
Now, police are investigating this case, but the family said in past cases the perpetrators have stolen vehicles to drive it through the door, so they're hopeful that didn't happen in this case. Otherwise, they won't have very many leads at all because, Ryan, that video also does show...
You know what we have to do, and it might save the state a whole bunch of money, but there is an initial cost? The state should provide every single car in the state with one of those kill switches. So as soon as your car gets stolen, it can't be used for anything.
Well, this is where I believe Ford has a great advantage over Kia and Hyundai. Fords are much less likely to be stolen than those other two cars because the thieves know if they steal a Ford, the check engine light is already going to be on, and it may not even make it through the wall. All right, we're live in Universal City. We're going to be here until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. If you want to go down the side of the building, now is your opportunity. We're raising money for the Union Rescue Mission. It's the John Phillips Show. It's the John Phillips Show, live from Universal City.
We are at the Universal Hilton at the Union Rescue Mission's Over the Edge event, where people literally right now are going over the edge of the roof of the Universal Hilton and rappelling down 25 stories. This is all to help out the Union Rescue Mission in their goal to help people that are homeless and actually get them off the street. If you want to be a part of this event, go to the website, urm.org/OTE. You can sign up. They're doing this today. They're also doing it tomorrow, so you still have time to sign up. Or if you just want to help this organization, go to the website and donate. They're trying to raise $1.8 million, and right now they're at $1.725. So let's get them there. Help out the Union Rescue Mission, an organization that really does it when it comes to getting people off the streets.
You know what Lewis told me?
Uh-oh. Get the dump ready.
Lewis said that in order to motivate people to come down the side of the building here at the Universal Hilton, what they did was they put all the honeymooner couples on this side.
Oh, boy.
So you get to look right into the room.
We're working blue at a lot of events lately. Have you noticed that?
That's what Lewis said. If you want to email the show, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And I am really loud in my headphones right now. There we go. That's much better. And if you want to listen to a show from earlier in the week, Randy, that's easy to do.
All you got to do is search for The John Phillips Show wherever you get your podcast, whether it's the Apple Podcast app, iHeart, Spotify. Search for The John Phillips Show. Hit subscribe. You could download all the episodes. You could do a Google on the YouTube. Get the KABC app. Get the KSFO app. Get the KMJ Now app, because we're on that stations on Saturdays at 2. So many different ways to listen live to our radio stations and download all the podcasts. You can go back just a few days ago when there was a jewelry store robbery in San Ramon.
It's happened yet again.
Then you can go a couple of days before that when there was a jewelry store robbery in Milpitas.
It's happened yet again.
Then you can go a couple days before that when there was a jewelry store robbery in San Jose.
It's happened yet again.
You can go a couple days before that when there was a jewelry store robbery in Oakland.
It's happened yet again.
800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. It is our pleasure to welcome our next guest to the program. He is a former member of the Los Angeles City Council and former LAPD Sergeant, Councilman Dennis Zine. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Nice to hear you're going to jump over the building. I like that.
Well, I thought you were going to come here to join us because, we set aside a bunch of room here by the pool for your motorcycle. I thought you were going to ride the motorcycle right up to the pool like Eric Estrada.
Well, I have the schedule on my schedule, but I forgot about the personal presentation. So that was my so many things, trying to do taxes and this and that and working LAPD on. I was overwhelmed, but at least I'm on the phone, but I wish I was there, but maybe next year. And I don't know if I'm going to jump off the building, but I miss seeing you in person. But on the phone,
now wait a minute.
Not at all.
You're doing your taxes. April was 6 months ago. Who's doing your taxes? Wesley Snipes?
You know what? I talked to my tax man a couple of days ago, and I said, "Do you think I can get an extension?" And he said, "There is no more extension. The extension is until October, and after that, you have nothing but penalties." He said, "You got to get it done before the 15th." I said, "Oh, wait." So I've been working my tail trying to get it done. Like many people, I delayed, and I've been delaying too long. That's what happened.
All right. Well, speaking of delays, the city of Los Angeles, which initially said they were going to have to lay off over, 1,600 city employees?
There was a $1 billion budget deficit. There was an announcement from Karen Bass, we have to lay off 1,600 employees. Then the city council plays around with it and says, you know what, it's only going to be 600. Then magically, Karen Bass comes out this week and says, I just talked to the unions, no layoffs.
She's like an auctioneer, Dennis.
She's magic. She makes magic happen, and all of a sudden, now they find that we want to renovate the convention center, and not millions but billions of dollars because of the Olympics. And while the city's got great debt and great problems, we keep on going deeper and deeper in the hole. But that's just the way Los Angeles seems to be running, in the hole.
So can you explain to someone who's had to vote on budgets at the city level for many years what this means for future councils and future mayors, because they're just kicking the can down the road?
Well, exactly. That's what they're doing. They're kicking it further and further down the road. You've got to pay the bill eventually, but they tell these city employees, a lot of dedicated people get told, you know what, you're not going to have a job anymore, and then they panic, their pension, their benefits, medical, et cetera, for their families. Then what are they going to do? So this is the problem, is that how do they then manage their lifestyle when you've got this unpredictability? You have a job today, a career going, all of a sudden, no, and then, no, by the way, we're going to keep you, but we're going to put you in the Department of Water and Power Airport or whatever. It's like you're playing musical chairs, and that's exactly what's up. Musical chairs. It's not how you should run a city the size of Los Angeles with all the issues that we have to deal with. And I find it ironic that everybody's talking about the Olympics and how the Olympics can be a huge opportunity to make money and all the attendance, and I question if that's ever going to happen with the fear that people have coming to Los Angeles and a shrinking. And I just talked to an officer, a sergeant, really an hour ago from the Chicago Police Department. They went through similar situations in the past where you don't have enough people to do the job. And I know from the '84 Olympics, where I worked at as a motorcycle supervisor, you need a lot of personnel guarding the residents where they're staying, guarding the venues. It takes a tremendous amount of personnel. And at the same time, you got to go police the city with all the regular operations, with the crime that takes place in the city of Los Angeles. So I don't know how they're going to manage it, but a lot of these people will be terming out soon. Someone else will come in, and then the responsibility onus will be on their shoulders. And these other folks walk away with well, we did this, we did that. It's not the way to run a ship.
Well, and here's the honest-to-God truth. Even under the best of circumstances, Los Angeles is an under-policed city. We don't have the same number of officers per capita that they do in other major American cities. And when you think about the geography of the city of Los Angeles that goes all the way from San Pedro at the port to Granada Hills in the San Fernando Valley, you're talking about a huge piece of geographic space. And we were trying to get to 10,000 back when Villaraigosa was mayor. That didn't happen, and now we're way under it.
Well, we're at, I think, 87 and change. But when you think about it, and I was thinking about this morning, we say 87, well, that's a lot of people. But when you talk about the distance, the territory you have to cover, and then you've got to compound that with traffic and how you're going to get to the destination of the crime and the resources. Yeah, we got council members that don't want the helicopters. The helicopters oftentimes the first unit to respond to a scene to back up a patrol unit where a solo officer is waiting for a backup. I mean, we've got a desperate situation when it comes to crime and safety in Los Angeles, and it's overlooked. And then we find out, well, the city's going to do this and going to do that. There's a lot of promises, just like they're promising pay off the debt. Who knows if that's going to be. But when you're out of office, it's not your problem. Somebody else has to take that problem and deal with it. And that's the attitude that sometimes prevails in the city of Los Angeles. Somebody else's responsibility. We'll be gone. Someone else will have to take that and deal with it.
Let's shift gears here and talk about what's going on in Oakland right now, where the city has a policy. The police commission came out with a policy that says that you cannot go after suspects who are fleeing if they're going over 50 miles per hour, which means that the cops can't follow anyone. And if you broke the law anywhere in Northern California, if you make it to Oakland, you're home free. Gavin Newsom allegedly wants the city to change the policy so that the cops can go after people, but the city and their new mayor, Barbara Lee, have yet to do that. Why do you think Gavin is willing to say publicly he wants them to change the position, but he won't lean on them? Because if he actually leaned on them, I think he could get them to do it. He just won't spend the political capital on it.
Well, what I can say simply, In-N-Out Burger left Oakland. In-N-Out Burger left Oakland. Why? Because there's no protection. And now they're just reducing protection, whatever protection was existing. But in Los Angeles, they have a policy with the LAPD, no pretext stop. No pretext stop? What do you mean no pretext stop? Well, the registration only expired a couple of months, or it's only a taillight violation, or it's only a tinted window. They've restricted officers in the police department from doing the job of proactive police work. Proactive police work is gone. It's reactive police work. When a call comes out, respond to that call. It's reactive, not proactive. And Oakland's just following suit what a lot of cities have done. They don't want to agitate. They don't want to cause problems. They don't want to cause conflict. So the officers will drive around, they'll wave, and they'll make the reports. But as far as aggressiveness is gone from many police departments because of the policies that they put into place. And remember, the officers are wearing body cams, so everything they do is going to be recorded. And they want to protect themselves. They want to protect their families. They want to protect their careers, so they follow the rules. But the rules in Los Angeles and many other places, instead of proactive, you're reactive. And roll off, back off, and don't make stops just because you think that might be a suspect of a robbery, a burglary, a murder, whatever, because you've got probable cause because the license plate is expired or whatever. Oh, it's got to be expired so many months. I mean, it's ridiculous. The handicap that they put, the handcuffs they put on the law enforcement officers to do the job. They've restricted them from doing the job, and the public suffers the consequences, and people don't even know about it. But that's the fact. And you look at pretext stop in LAPD. You shall not do pretext stop. That's a directive from the police department.
As a big city department guy, how do the big city departments compete with the smaller departments now, many of whom have very generous signing bonuses? Because if I'm thinking, okay, I'm a 22-year-old, I have a degree in criminal justice, I want to be a cop, I want to go into law enforcement, and I'm looking at the LAPD or I'm looking at El Segundo PD or Newport Beach or some other department in Southern California, or in Northern California, you can go work for the Oakland PD and deal with all those problems, or you can go to Alameda or Danville or some other community. I don't know how the big cities compete anymore with these smaller departments.
Well, the smaller departments are offering signing bonuses. You look at Beverly Hills Police Department, a beautiful city, a very clean city, the latest equipment, chief of police who used to work at LAPD. You find Beverly Hills is recruitment, Burbank. The clean cities are recruiting. They're paying bonuses. They're giving officers a good career. So whether you're with LAPD, the big department, or the LA County Sheriff's Department, big department, they're struggling to get people in the department. These other departments don't seem to have a problem. They don't have academies, so they can reduce the expense on that. They can pay bonuses and get people in, and this is what happens. But if you're a young 21-year-old and you identify, well, I want to go to a big department. Do I really want to go to the other? Or maybe I'll go to the highway patrol. They're hiring with bonuses. So they're in competition now. But I think that with the number of officers we have in LAPD, many services that should be performed aren't being performed because you don't have the response to do it. And when you look at the 911 calls, the dispatch center, oftentimes they're overloaded with calls and not enough operators, so you may be on the phone waiting for 5, 10, 15 minutes for a 911 call. 911 should be answered immediately, but we don't have the people. So what happens? You wait in line. And you wait in line, that means lives are in jeopardy. We're not providing a service that is really guaranteeing public health and welfare. We are far cry from that. And our city council, with the people that want to disarm, you got actual council members that want to disarm the police. They don't want armed police. They want unarmed police. Well, that's great, except a robber who has a gun, or these 25 people that go into a jewelry store and ransack the place in broad daylight. So what are you going to do with that situation? Officers want to go home at night. They want to protect and serve, but they need a system that supports them. And I will tell you, the support I see in Los Angeles now is not the same as when I joined in 1968. You could do your job, you could be effective, and you get praised for it. But now you do your job, and you get criticized, you may get indicted. So officers aren't dumb. They're going to protect themselves, their families, and they want to retire. And the number of retirements keep exceeding the number of recruits. You got more people leaving than recruits coming in, and that's a serious problem. And if everyone who was a victim of a crime made the crime report, they'd be overwhelmed. Many people don't even make the crime report, but it doesn't make any good. Does it make it? Nah, that won't make the crime report. How many people listening now have their catalytic converter stolen and they didn't make a report? Or they had something stolen out of their home and they didn't make a report? You're talking about thousands of crime reports that aren't done because people have just given up. Well, it's not the way to do it. I encourage, push the system and push your elected officials to do the service that you deserve and you're paying for. And now they come around, they want more taxes. They want more taxes for every particular service, whether it's water and power or street services. We can't fix the sidewalks. We can't fix the street lights that are out because they're stealing the copper wire. It's an endless battle. And check how many people retire from the city of Los Angeles and where they live now. How many have left Los Angeles and left California? And they go to a state where your pension's not taxed, a lot of benefits. So we're not in a winning battle, we're in the losing battle. And I'd be very frank with what I'm saying. In 12 years in the city council, we had a council that was very effective, I thought, compared to the jokesters that we have today, which I call the crazy train, because all they're looking for is ways to give out, to hand out. And this homeless situation, they keep on saying that numbers are down. Look in your neighborhood and see if the numbers are down. And I know the shelters are good, but they don't have enough capacity to house everyone. And that's a tragedy that is not going to be overcome unless a lot of money is poured into it, and they don't have the money to pour into it. So it's, again, the merry-go-round. Keeps on going round and round, doesn't stop. And the taxpayers suffer, the businessmen suffer, everybody suffers.
L.A. City Councilman, former L.A. City Councilman Dennis Zine. Councilman Zine, thanks so much for joining us on this Friday.
My pleasure. Thank you, John.
It's the John Phillips Show, live from Universal City. It's the John Phillips Show, live from Universal City.
We are broadcasting live at the Universal Hilton for the Union Rescue Mission's Over the Edge event. If you want to go over the edge of the Universal Hilton and rappel down 25 stories, you can do it by going to urm.org/OTE and sign up. They're doing this today and tomorrow, or just donate and help the URM try to raise $1.8 million to actually help the homeless.
The Fix California Hour coming up after the news at 1. Gloria Romero joins us. All right, Randy, you have an update for us on just exactly why so many jewelry stores in the state of California are being robbed.
Because it's easy.
Well, we're going to have to stretch it out a little bit longer than that because the news starts at the top of the hour.
Let's go to ABC 7 in the Bay.
Gunshots at this Heller jewelry store in San Ramon earlier this week.
Oh, yeah. The jewelry store had automatic doors that shut to lock the criminals in, so they shot their way out.
I love the fact that these stores are resorting to putting Inspector Gadget in charge of security.
And earlier this month, this smash and grab robbery at Kim Hung Jewelry in San Jose. Also this jewelry store in Milpitas. 3 separate cases.
Wait, that guy's name is Kim Hung?
Just move past it.
What do you think junior high was like for him?
This is a family show.
Or her.
All with identical looks of large groups of people ransacking jewelry stores.
Since March, we've had 30 violent robberies in California targeting jewelry stores.
30 violent jewelry store robberies in California in just the last 6 months.
It's got to destroy you as a business owner to have that happen all the time. In fact, I don't think Hung is half the man he used to be.
Okay, now just stop. Family event. There's literally kids swimming in the pool.
Well, wouldn't
It's
you?
something I haven't seen in my 30-plus years of investigating jewelry crime with the NYPD.
Scott Guginski is VP of the Jewelers Security Alliance, which works to keep employees and customers safe at jewelry stores across the country. He says that as gold approaches $4,000 an ounce, these stores are being targeted.
Wait, it's because commodities are going up?
Well, and keep in mind, very few of these stores are properly insured. Some of them have insurance that doesn't cover all of it, and some of them don't have insurance at all. So when they get hit, it really hurts.
Guginski says that 16 of the 30 recent cases in California involve smash and grabs like we saw in San Jose.
And 14 others were mob-style, 10, 20, 30 people charging the jewelry store with sledgehammers and firearms.
Rodney Alamo Brown heads Soulful Softball Sunday and works with youth in Richmond. He says that until we do a better job educating and preparing our young people, these crimes will continue to happen.
Wait, what?
No. These aren't teenagers who are stealing because they don't have after-school programs. These are professional organizations, criminal enterprises that are doing this. Many of them aren't even from this country.
Let's not forget, there was an after-school program that was being funded for years and years and years of the city of Los Angeles that was literally a front for a gang.
Schools don't teach these kids what they should know. But the thing that's really the clincher is when they see all these wonderful things being advertised on social media, and then the have-nots become the not-haves.
What?
No. When they catch these people, aren't many of them from Chile?
That's a different kind of crime. These are homegrown criminals.
Okay.
The home burglaries are usually the Chileans. The jewelry stores, those are locals.
7 people were arrested in connection to this San Ramon heist, all between the ages of 17 and 31.
No, they just need some more after-school programs.
All right, we've got 2 more hours coming up on the John Phillips Show. The Fix California hour is next. Don't you go anywhere.